Hi you guys, I'm preparing my lunch for the day, and while I'm preparing my lunch for the day, I really decided to say, hey, dear single Christian mom, you're not alone. I understand the struggle. I was a single mom for 10 years. About 3 of those years was my journey with Jesus, and well, I know you're probably in a hard space, but I'm telling you, little mama, you got this. So today, I'm gonna just give you a couple of tips that got me through my 10 years of single motherhood. And now I'm happily married, and Jesus has my back, and Jesus will always have your back. So let's just get into it. I think the first tip I wanna give you guys is to plan your life out a little bit. Stop trying to wing out. And I'm not saying that you're not planning your life out, but I'm talking about really try and implement a little bit of planning. You want to go on a vacation, plan your money to accommodate that vacation. You want to get your nails done, plan it, schedule it in. You want to hang out with your kids, plan it and schedule it. You need some time off. Whatever it is, plan and organize your life. Stop trying to just wing it. Because when you wing it, you're not prepared. And when you're not prepared, chaos can arise. And when chaos arises, anxiety follows. So just plan out your life. Good planning and hard work lead prosperity. That's what the Bible tells us. So implement it. If you want to go back to school, plan some time for that. I think the next tip that I have for you is to rest. Simply rest is the next tip. On the 7th day, God rested. And if God rested on the 7th day, little mama, you with them kids, you with that job, you with having all of these things happening in your life, you need a rest too. And don't let mom guilt catch up to you. You know what? Let it catch up to you, but don't let it defeat you. Yes, mom guilt is real. Yes, you're gonna have mom guilt if you rest instead of hanging out with the kids. But think of rest like the mask on the plane. It tells you on the plane, if you've ever been on the plane, to put on your mask before you put on the mask of somebody else. Because what's the point of you passing out trying to help somebody else? Rest is the same. What's the point of you not feeling rested, feeling anxious, feeling angry around your kids all the time, when you could have solved that problem by simply resting? The next tip I have is like straight up create a budget. The Bible tells us to manage our finances. It tells us to steward our money correctly. And so I think as single moms, not just as single moms, as everyday people, we should steward our money. That means implementing a budget. That means telling our money where it's gonna go. So if you don't have a budget, hey man, sit down. Look up YouTube videos. If you want, I'll create a video on how I created my budget and how I lived off of one income for 10 years. That's without child support too. Not saying child support is bad, I just didn't have it. Manage your money so your money does not manage you, baby. On the topic of managing stuff, I'm gonna need you to manage your kids. And I know I'm gonna pull at a lot of people's heartstrings, especially single moms. Our job, in Proverbs, it tells us, instruye al niño en su carrera. I just know it in Spanish. In other words, lead the kid in the right path so when they get older, they do not depart. Our job is to manage our kids. Our job is to make them good adults. And so manage your kids, hang out with them. They don't need to be on tablets all day. Take them all off tablets and just be like, today we're playing a board game after we're done cooking. With that being said, stop doing chores by yourself. Put those kids to work. My daughter's 13, and not to flaunt or like to brag or anything like that, I taught my daughter how to do her own laundry. So she's doing her own laundry. Every once in a while, she's helping me cook. She helps me clean. We divvy up the chores. Like, and I know some people might be like, well, that they're kids, they're not slaves. You're right, 100%. But why are you struggling like a crazy person to keep up with kids that can help you? Put them to do small jobs. I'm not saying have them replace you, but I always tell my children, hey, even now that I'm married, I have a stepson. He's not used to doing stuff, so he'll straight up be like, why do I gotta do it? I'm just a kid. It's so funny, it's so cute, but also it drives me nuts. I'm like, Papi, because you live here too. You gotta clean up after yourself. And honestly, that's helping them be better adults. Learn how to clean up after yourself, because one day you're not going to have mommy. Mommy is not going to be cleaning up after you. The person that you end up with, your spouse, is not going to be cleaning up after you. Learn how to be the best adult you can be. And the best way we could do that is by managing our children, stewarding them in the correct path. Stop taking on a bunch of stuff and stop adding stuff onto your plate when your kids can help you. And like I said, while managing them, hang out with them. Spend some time off the tablet. I forgot what book I read, but it was something related to the psychology of kids. And it basically said that kids need nurturing every day and kids need to feel you in their life every day. So even something as simple as like a handshake. I feel when I haven't hung out with my daughter. Like I feel when we haven't had that one-on-one time, because she'll just be maybe a little bit more grumpy or catch an attitude more, and I'm like, oh, you need my time. So at the end of the night, I'll go in there into her room. I'll hang out with her. I'll talk to her, even if it's just a couple minutes. I'll pray with her. Make sure you're praying with your kids. Make sure you're telling them about God. Make sure you're telling them about Jesus, because you know the world's going to fill them with all kinds of shenanigans. Make sure they learn knowledge about God and about Jesus from you. Read the Bible with your kids. Manage your kids. Don't let the world manage them for you. Or even worse, don't let your kids manage you. I think the next thing I want to say as I'm headed out the door is that you don't have to keep up with every single fashion trend that's out there. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. You don't need the most fancy house. You don't need the newest car. Provide for your kids what you could provide, and that's it. There's no need for you to keep up with everybody. They have dual income. You have one income. Steward that income correctly and provide the necessities, and every once in a while provide fun time and maybe some cute shoes for your kids. You don't need to go above and beyond because you feel mom guilt. My daughter has a friend and her mom's a single mom, but before she became a single mom, she was getting abused by the dad, by her husband, by her ex-husband. And then they got a divorce, and so now she's like way more lenient on the kids, and the kids know that. My daughter and her friend, a few of her friends got their phones taken away because they were acting brand new, and that little girl straight up told my daughter, well, my mom's chill with me anyway, so I bet you I'll get it back by this date. 2 days later, she got her phone back. She knew my mom's lenient, so don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't keep up with the mom guilt. Do the best that you can do, because I promise, baby, you're doing really good. It's super hot in here, but I didn't want the air conditioning to ruin my sound. So I think the next tip that I have for you guys is to remember that God already has the plans for you, and his plans are the best plans that you can have. So if you're tired of waiting in your single season, I promise you God has a plan. I was a single mom for 10 years and I kept looking at people like, dang, why her, God? Why does she have a husband? Dang, God, why this? Dang, God, why that? Like, why not me yet, Lord? What's up? Why not me? And patience is everything. Work on your patience, but remember that God has a plan for you, sis, and I promise you, you will not be single for too long. And it might seem like forever when you're in the waiting game, but before you know it, you'll be like, dang, I wish I was single again. I love my husband, but marriage is hard work, and sometimes it's just so much easier to make decisions on your own, pay your bills on your own, do your own thing, come in and out of your house whenever you please. And I'm not saying you can't do that when you're married, but there is a spiritual anointing and spiritual leadership there that you got to submit to. So just know your time will come, because God has plans, and God's plans always prevail. The final but most important thing that I want to tell you is always lean on God. Lean on God, because Él te fortalece. And I don't even know how to say that in Spanish. He will give you strength. He will give you guidance. He will give you wisdom. Pray about everything. Lean on God. Spend time with Jesus every morning. Start your mornings with God. Teach your kids how to start their mornings with God, because God will give you the things that you never thought you needed. I would straight up tell God, hey God, I need a hug today. Like, just hug me. Just tell me I'm going to be okay. And I'm getting worked up, one, because I'm pregnant, I'm emotional, but two, because I know God's goodness. I always tell people, like, I don't volunteer in church because I want God's blessings. I volunteer in church and do as much as I can for God because I have seen his blessings over my life. I was a single mom for 10 years, and when I started leaning on God is when I became the most happy. The first couple years of being a single mom, I was a part of hookup culture, just thinking like, let me hook up, let me find love, let me do this, let me do that. Oh, I own my own body, pro choice, pro a bunch of stuff, and it's like, that stuff's all garbage. Lean on God, because there's no other peace that compares to the peace that God can give you. There's no other wisdom. There's no other intelligence. You could go to college all day, but there's no education like God's education. Lean on him always. Thank you guys for being here. You're not alone, little mama. You're not alone, mama. You're not alone. I know what it's like to be a single mom for so many years, and you're not alone. God has you. I'll continue to pray for every single mom out there. God bless them all, guide them all, protect them all, forgive them all, give them an anointing to steward your kids the way they should be stewarded, and just bless us all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you. Until the next video. Bye, little mama.